coming into this best of one here. Yeah, it feels like Yumi's maybe the only one that's voting the other way. So we'll see how things pan out. But it should again be another close affair between these two teams. And I'm happy so far today. We've had 3 very different maps, and Overpass continues to be the most interesting in the pool for me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it can be a spicy game, right? We talk about these two sides in terms of the head-to-head, and they've played each other 6 times in the last 6 months. They're averaging 1 game a month, these two. So for me already, feels like a very interesting landscape to start talking about. We're on the way in towards Overpass. forZe starting on that T side, ECSTATIC on the CT side. Question being, what can they get? Great start for Result with the first, looking to make it another. Shout will add to the tally as well, but Queenix answers right back. This pistol round means a lot to kickstart the momentum. Of course, being best of ones, very little room to give. The bomb goes down, and now it's all onto the ECSTATIC retake. What's it looking like?
2 players up short quite fast. I do like this. Actually going to double up at Monster rather than short. It is really quick moving from ECSTATIC so far. Tap onto the bomb already. 2. Oh my goodness, all 4. What the hell? That's unbelievable. The USPs come alive and just demolish that forZe side of things. No chance of holding on to the B-bomb site, and what a retake.
It's not bad. And a numbers disadvantage retake at that as well. I mean, that already in itself is a statement you don't get to say all too often. So, a 1-0 start for ECSTATIC. Kicks on that CT side well. The big thing for forZe being, of course, bomb plant means money in the pockets for them to work with to pull off a somewhat sophisticated buy. You can kind of see it now. The rifle's coming through. Utility is pretty lacking over towards forZe. That's the one thing that really does worry me. They've got barely anything to work with.
Don't even have like a mule or whatever, like a guy on a Mac 10, you know, who will then be able to afford the full belt. So
yeah,
really just playing into the rifle of the Galil.
It's all about firepower for them, right, in towards this run. And I'm not actually a huge fan of it at times. I wouldn't even mind of seeing someone like Jerry down in towards a Mac 10 or whatnot. Swinging through, Shalfie will find the first. Nodios, with him falling, it's an important kill, but Manx will answer right back in a quick trade. And actually looking for a second, but Result will trade. It's scrappy, it's messy. That leaves us in a 3 versus 3 with a tag on towards Queenix.
Bomb pretty far back, so forZe can't commit anywhere just yet. Big find for Salazar. Result low HP, really not looking too good. Both the remaining players are fully split here as well, so hard challenge ahead. They do at the very least have a somewhat open A bomb site. I think that is definitely what they're after here, so not too bad kind of move, I suppose, in that sense. But kraghen holding the line for his 4th frag of the game so far. Pretty quickly getting up there. Just going to be Zorte. Certainly one of the more impressive prospects on this team for sure. Having a great looking RMR. Pretty decent challenger stage. I think it was top 3 in terms of the ratings. kraghen will take his head clean off this time around though. So ECSTATIC holding the line, getting themselves 2 in a row, looking pretty damn good while doing so as well.
And kraghen already doing exactly what we expect. kraghen, for those who maybe are a little bit new towards ECSTATIC at home, kraghen is the man. Like, he is the guy over towards ECSTATIC. Whenever we're looking at anybody to kind of really top frag, more often than not, it kind of feels like kraghen's the one you can bank on. But the new boy of Nodios, I really do like Nodios. It was kind of what the desk was talking about. Cabby, he was previously in the roles that Nodios plays. I really liked Cabby. I thought he was actually one of the most stable parts of ECSTATIC. And when they got rid of him, I initially wasn't a big fan at all. I was really actually kind of quite against it. But my God, Nodios has come in, and it's exactly what the desk was saying. He was too good to give up. Even though Cabby was playing well, Nodios is just such a prolific rifler. And he's so good in his roles. That kind of supporting rifle, to have one that's so consistent, the way Nodios is, honestly, it's like finding diamonds in the rough, man. Honestly, so good. Either way, 2-0 start forZe. Their force bite not converting leaves them back to pistols here in round number 3. So ECSTATIC, a very good opportunity for them to kickstart their campaign. Shout for other ideas. He started his campaign on the T side pretty damn well. 3 kills to his name so far in the 3 rounds played, and that Deagle sings off pretty damn nicely.
Nodios picking up Jerry. We'll get them some good information, a really nice spot to control, of course, connector. Dropping back, they retrieve that M4. There is no armor to speak of, unfortunately. Krad, sneaky little spot here. His teammates could distract away for sure. Manx caught out in the open on the fight. Oh, down goes Queenix at the back as well. Disaster. Absolute disaster. 4 versus 2. Nodios looking to move in with the MP9. Spots one already crossing. Gonna drop that bomb. No, he's not. Oh. Covers off from behind, though. A nice frag to find. Kraghen caught in an awkward spot. And the re-frag from ReSalt nets forZe a really unlikely round.
Yeah, and Kraghen actually gets really unfortunate there as well. He's caught jumping. Doesn't have time to stable himself. And that being said, off the back of a low buy, they make it work. This deagle to kickstart things was great, and it actually allowed for Xiaofi to scoop up in towards kind of a free rifle, essentially.
Yeah, just a really dangerous move as well. I don't know why the aggression has to come through from Salazar. It's not like you're sort of desperate for rounds. You probably know that they're on pistols at the very most. So I'm not so sure about just kind of dry running in. Giving that early frag away sets the tone for the round, doesn't it? Especially when it comes so early on in the round.
It's questionable, to say the least. Zorte towards an AWP, but it's ReSalt up close and personal. ReSalt has been eyes on this man for kind of a multitude of reasons. Of course, back at the latter stages of 2022, forZe were trialing both ReSalt and forZe, the ex-Entropic man, now 1 win. And I mean, forZe is someone that I've loved as a player for a long time.
Yeah.
And when they went for ReSalt, I was questioning it. I was thinking, you know, that is a ballsy move by Jerry, but in Jerry we trust, man. It was such a good call. ReSalt's actually really coming towards his own while joining this roster. And Jerry mentioned as well at the time, on LAN, you'll see what this guy is all about. And of course, slowly we're starting to see it. 4-2 he currently stands, but he is taking a lot of damage here. So his impact in the rest of this round might be limited, but with the firepower they have, ECSTATIC gonna struggle. FAMAS, MP9. Double D to try and bail them out of a man-disadvantaged situation.
Gamble on A, I think, is going to be the wrong call here for ECSTATIC, so they may well just hold on to what they have into the next round. That bomb is slowly encroaching out on B. Plant will come in about 10 seconds or so. Nothing ECSTATIC can do to stop this one, so yeah, I would imagine going to give the round up, going for a bit of a dig, try and find some presence at long, maybe catch a player, find an upgraded rifle. But nothing showing just yet. Easy stuff. Very easy stuff indeed. So forZe's going to get a couple in a row. Getting this competition started early. Getting this close game that we were so looking forward to indeed ringing true. So I'm feeling good about this one.
Absolutely. One of the great things about watching ECSTATIC as well is you always do see some fairly decent skins coming out for the ECSTATIC boys, of course. Oh, yeah. Part owned by Zipple.
Yeah, well, who don't know. Got a good eye.
Of course, he has a very good eye for the skin, Zipple. Really cool guy as well, as we said. I think as org owners go, very, very dedicated to the ECSTATIC boys.
Apparently he's at the event watching live.
I'd love to see it, man. Shout out Zipple, man. Really, really cool dude.
Maybe we can find him, grab him for an interview. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Newlywed, I believe.
He is, yeah. Congrats to him, of course. Now, of course, couldn't get anything better than a wedding present of ECSTATIC doing well here at their second Challenger event this year. They made playoffs at Melbourne, but unfortunately it was not the fairy tale ending for them, losing out in those semi-finals. But even still, that is respectable in its own.
Yeah, I think definitely overperforming at Melbourne for sure.
They weren't expected to make playoffs, so that alone was a big thing. And you know, Movistar and B&E played brilliantly, and B&E especially up until the finals, where unfortunately they didn't show up.
Xiaofi with the angle. Good for 1. Oh, good for 2 as well. Perfect. Absolutely perfect on the dastardly FAMAS, but he will use it wisely. 5 versus 3. Should be all good here. Kraghen has recovered one of those saved weapons, but all the kills coming in right now. ReSalt for a 2-piece of his own, make it 3. On it right now, 7-2 already. forZe took them a bit of time to get going, of course, losing out on that pistol where it looked like they should have won it, to be fair. But they have picked up the heat very, very quickly and some very clean rounds here. But our first proper rifle round coming in this game so far. There's an AWP out for Salazar. There is a severe lack of utility, you've got to say, for that ECSTATIC side of things. So going to be a tough hold here.
It's a big talking point coming towards this game, the Battle of the AWPers. Zorte, arguably the best player on forZe. Actually, I don't think he is arguably. He is the best player on forZe. He's unbelievable, Zorte. But Salazar at times has been one of the weaker players over towards ECSTATIC. And I think we really need to see this guy show up. We know he has the ability, but it's the inconsistency that plagues us. Kraghen. Really an opener for him. In towards the flames, he falls back though. Toes getting a little bit toasty. And Mank to Nodios are coming and reclaim the space. That is a brilliant CT crunch on towards short water. And it's put forZe under so much pressure. They know what to do. Krad, Jerry, the experience of the team left alone here.
Really big fan of the aggression. I think it's absolutely fantastic. They've not had their confidence knocked, and they will still pull some of these rounds out. And like you say, it is masterfully executed.
Question being, of course, now what? I mean, they've got the money to go for this, right? There's no point. Any kills they find over towards ECSTATIC are going to have a adverse effect on that CT economy. They've massively invested in here. You look across the board, the most money one single person has is Nodios is $350. Not exactly like they're rich over there. Any kills they get, it's going to mean a lesser buy, but Salazar, big swing, big find from him. That's the confidence we need to see from Salazar. We know he has the ability, just don't always see it. But if he can get the confidence going, get those cogs in motion, that's when he can start to put forZe under a lot of pressure. 30 seconds left. Jerry, it's just going to be a save call. We're going to park up in towards that connector position. It'll be ECSTATIC time at the game. We've had back-to-back close games.
Yeah.
And it looks like this third one looking more of the same.
Yep. That's what we want, man. When the LANs get involved, you need to bring that competition, bring your A game. We'll see who ends up being the bottle job in this one, I suppose. Jerry with a nice hold. 5 seconds, and he should easily be able to save his AK.
Big question for you, Skriv, right? Of course, we talk about Group A, very top-heavy. I mean, we know about it. ENCE, VP, they are at the expectation to kind of get out of that group. We look over towards Group B, and we spoke about it being wide open. What's your thoughts? Who do you think is taking it? Who do you think is coming first, second? What are the two teams to get out? Because you ask 100 people, and you might get so many different answers about who's making out.
I think forZe, you're on paper choice, for sure. They obviously have a lot of reps. They play pretty decently online. They've been in the top 30 for like 2 years now.
Yeah, with different rosters as well.
Yeah, super consistent. I'd say Pain are like the best LAN performers though.
Yeah. Possibly
with the highest ceiling as well of the group. So I feel like for me, Pain are probably going to take it. I think. I don't know. forZe have really looked like they do hit this ceiling. They'll pick up some early victories when the pressure comes on though. Maybe Jerry struggles. Maybe the fact that they have so many young players struggle.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that Pain aren't the clear favorite, but I'm going to put my money down on those guys.
We'll have to see. It was this round. He's gone out both ways. Salazar full blind will find Result. That's such an important kill. And the fact that he finds a kill, falls away alive, even more important. Double AWP setup. Manx, the IGL of this team, will step off for one of his own on towards Krad. Already looking really good. There was a lot of pressure on Manx's shoulder when, Bird from Sky left the roster and they needed a caller. He was the most experienced head in a very inexperienced team. They took the core from the old Masonic roster. And Manx, I feel like he's done a really good job in terms of calling. He's been playing some good Counter-Strike and calling around himself really well.
Yeah, it's definitely taken some time to get there, I think. The early months were pretty rough.
Yeah.
I think they did okay to make the RMR for Rio, but got absolutely trounced. So there has been some big up and downs, but it does feel the past maybe only like 6 weeks or so, but they have hit some really good consistency. It feels like since Melbourne, I think. They qualified for Melbourne, they made playoffs, and that's really given them some kind of confidence and some belief in themselves to be like, oh, okay, well, we can play pretty well. LAN feels good.
Yeah.
Let's keep this energy going. And obviously they qualify for another one, which, again, you may even argue is kind of an overperformance. Sort of wild that we've just talked over a 5v3 save there, though. So forZe with 2 T-side saves in a row, really not a good look.
I'd go for a pause as well. I wouldn't actually mind this. Bring Jerry into the conversation. Fierce as well. It's something that Des was talking about quite a lot. Fierce has actually been crucial to a lot of the success of forZe. And that's exactly what they're going to go for. Very early tack pause, but I think actually a very needed one. You see how that round plays out. They lose 2 frags immediately at the hands of Result and Krad, and they instantly call it. They're going to go for a full reset coming in towards the next round. I don't mind this call, actually, all too much. But a good opportunity, actually, for ECSTATIC to start putting up some decent numbers here. They've been playing some good Counter-Strike these last few rounds. Pause done. We're back underway. The double AWP setup. Actually relatively common towards that Overpass. And actually kind of one of the biggest talking point about the map itself is right now, post-Paris Major, this is the most seed-sided map in the pool that we've got at the moment. So we've seen halves like a 10-5 or 11-4 not actually be that drastically bad. So if forZe can put up a fairly decent repertoire on the T side, who knows, man? We could actually see this this really continue in there and kind of flourish for them when they flip hands. Double Molotov coming through. Cracking a smoke and push his way through, trying to get as much space as he can. This time Manx aware, though. A much more aggressive angle from him. He was posted up over towards plant pots earlier. This time, wants to take some control. I feel like Krad's got an understanding.
I don't know. He looks a little loose around there. Yeah, Manx was ready for him. Flash
deep
completely
flash.
ineffective. Yeah, well, you don't expect the AWP to be playing that close. Come on now. It's a very, very risky angle from Manx. If there's multiple players there, it's not a worthwhile move at all. But because there is only one, he's able to easily isolate that fight. 4 on B. They like the advanced position of Manx. They believe that he has effectively scared them off, which is indeed correct. So this is a deadly setup over here. Nodios on the pixel. Jump spot from Queen. Nix, toes spotted. Big damage from both sides, but it's Jerry to win out the fight. Queenix got to be careful not to give his life away. I couldn't even get the words out. 4v3. Despite the read, despite the setup, ECSTATIC have lost the plot.
Now everything goes a little bit quiet. 4 versus 3, you're looking at this now. Wrestle's taking a lot of damage. For him, going to be seriously difficult. Kraghen actually is going to sit up close here. I don't mind this play at all. With the smoke and nade coming through, Kraghen's got the perfect position to take contact. And even if things go south, someone can swing to help him. Oh, and he'll get 3. Kraghen, that is brilliant. The crown upon his head as he finds 3 kills. And ECSTATIC up to a 5th. That is a masterful play. The util, everything, pin perfect. And of course, in doing so, forZe just shell-shocked. No idea what's just hit them. The brick wall over towards the B site. That's exactly what we want to be seeing. He lines them up through the smoke. Little did he know he was in for a masterclass. And forZe, they've just got nothing. Look at the buy they've gone for as well. What is this? Jerry into an AK, Zorta an AWP, and then pistols in support.
Just buy around it. Just buy it. If you're going to go for it, go for it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, why is Krad saved? And they like to shelf if everyone else is invested. Surely just commit to the force buy. A double hero is so weird.
Get some Galils in there or whatever. Like, they could have put together a slightly substantial buy. Kraghen around the corner looking for the first frag of the round. Resolving. Give him that fight. Wins it out. Will be traded by Nodios, but any kill going to be valuable here for forZe in a round like this.
Gets his revenge as well after being spammed down through the smoke. They're looking over towards A. It's a bad call though. Queenix reclaiming some space and Salazar at range with the AWP. Could make this one a little bit uncomfortable. He's going to sit up close as well. The scope might have been heard. The noise definitely has been. Arm spotted. Flash is brilliant. 1, 2. Make that 3 for Queenix. Brilliant. 3Ks all round for ECSTATIC. Feed them and they shall feast. And it leaves Jerry in a 1 versus 4 and a nigh impossible round for him. His shot there with the AWP gives him an opportunity, but half HP and an AWP for Jerry to work with. He might just save.
This is great Counter-Strike from ECSTATIC right now. It is confident, it is well put together, and it keeps finding success is the thing. Absolutely brilliant. Triple up setup? No, I'm not going to go for it.
Just really start going wild with it.
Yeah. That might be a bit too cocky. Maybe if you were like 9-3 up, you could go for it. But it starts relatively well. forZe keeping things interesting, keeping things competitive, but it is just this again. And that sense of timing from that play is immaculate. Really a big fan. Really a big fan. 6-3, gap growing. And forZe have looked down and out in the past few rounds, so really need this round, to be honest with you, just to give them some belief back.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm actually a little bit concerned right now about the way forZe are playing. They just look so discombobulated. Resmoke coming through over towards that monster position. And actually, the way ECSTATIC are playing, they're trying to kind of invite in engagements here. They're trying to invite fights to come through. Nodios up close and personal. We'll drop a smoke of his own just as it starts to fall away. Big nade will come through and he will take a fairly decent amount of damage. It's a very strong hold for ECSTATIC.
Thanks. Contact play here. He's been getting pretty aggressive on the AWP, which is kind of interesting considering that he's the secondary. Usually it is the secondary that plays a bit more turret-based. What a swing round from Zorte. That's opened the round right up. Salazar, back end of the site here. Flash comes in, blinds him. Gap gonna close. He has to be very, very careful indeed. Gonna continue to take the swings, continue to miss the shots. A falls. I think a 5v3 so fast has to be given across.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where kind of the conversations about Salazar come through. You got to be hitting at least one there. Under pressure, and he folds. And unfortunately, that's just what forZe can do. Their ability to collapse in on a site at that sort of tempo. Any player, no matter the experience or age, are going to feel the pressure there. It's a very good kind of recovery as well. It did look a little bit shaky. It looked like actually forZe initially were going to brute force their way through that B site over towards Monster. I kind of thought they were just going to relentlessly push their way through. Thankfully, they opted against it. They were back over towards the A site. Realized it's actually a little bit undermanned over there too. Before you know it, they collect their 4th round. As T sides go, this isn't actually a bad start towards Overpass. The way it's been played over the last 3 months, it has looked very, very, heavily weighted over towards that CT side. So the fact that we're still actually seeing this side remain competitive means a lot. Crown should have been hitting those. The same can be said towards Salazar. And it's those slight rookie errors that cost ECSTATIC in that round. But, of course, plenty of money for them to work with, so they can answer back with a buy of their own, and actually enough money to buy in towards the next, even if this one goes south too. So they're not under too much pressure, whether it be the scoreline or the finances. Nothing really is too problematic for them just yet. So I'm hoping they don't overthink any of these processes just now.
Yodios wants to go digging. He's not been given the authority to do so. 4 on B. Quick attack from forZe. Pace change. Is it going to be successful? Salazar will find the first head, but he is traded quickly. Defended, however. Down goes Nodios. Krad, a little caught. Not ready for the extra man. Just Sorte and Shalfe remain, but they've managed to back off, gather some information. Oh, it's not a bad idea from Manx. 6 HP makes the difference. Such a damn shame. Where is kraghen now is the big question that forZe are going to have. He's deciding to stick to B. And I don't rightly know. I mean, looking at this, they're thinking some kind of a flank is coming in, thinking that, he's that A player. Will have started pushing as the attack comes in. It does make a lot of sense. Where do they take the bomb, though?
Manx is so unlucky there, by the way. He's got absolutely the right idea.
It's the right idea.
Yeah. You can hear that kind of rotation coming through. He swings, but he's just not expecting Shalfie to be posted up like that. They're going back over towards B. kraghen, they're low on HP. They can line up. Last player's low. And kraghen will steer it off. Great double for him. He sticks around. He roots himself over towards Pillar on B, and it's the right call. Well played. He's a young guy, but he's playing well above his years in terms of the level that we know this young guy can have. 12 and 5, he currently sets 103 ADR. It's not too bad of a performance at all. Sort of single-handedly winning out that round there. It looked like it was lost when Manx falls, but thankfully kraghen's there, ready and waiting. And thankfully, actually, the first fight he takes is Zorte, the high HP player of the two. Catches him off guard, leaves Shalfie, who had 6 points of HP left. But still Manx walking away with a very good round. 2 kills, 223 damage. Not that bad. Not that bad at all.
Kind of wild that we've had takeover performances every game today. Dihar in the first, Flit in the second, and now kraghen.
Hopefully he can keep it up as well. kraghen actually is one of the players for me, which I've got to say is much easier said than done within the Tier 2 scope, but he's actually one of the more consistent players within Tier 2. I think he's someone who can always step up. Of course, last time these two sides played, though, unfortunately, you didn't really see the performance out of really anybody. It was a 2-map affair in the CCT Online Finals, and forZe won 16-11 map 1 of Inferno, and a 16-10 on Nuke. It really wasn't that good. And funny enough, actually, they went in towards the Inferno pick in that game. And it was a possibility for forZe to maybe swing that way, but they got for a kind of completely different veto here, which I'm a big fan of. In towards the best of one. They've left Overpass open. And I like this. That'll be the best of 3, this being a best of 1 here. 12th round. forZe, they need to answer right back. Granted, look at the money. They can't find success here. And if ECSTATIC find 8, they'll find more than that. The economy will be shattered over towards that C side. This is a must-win round for forZe if they want to keep some sort of stranglehold in this game.
Result finding the angle, doesn't win the fight. I thought he had that one. Kraghen eliminates him, backs off pretty safely as well. There is a lack of control towards short A though, so they do have to watch themselves. And I mean, leaving Kraghen to defend it is probably not the move, because he's got 7 HP. Salazar's here. That's a bit better. forZe are on the way. 25 seconds, do not have time to dedicate to another bomb site. Sorte with the hold. Salazar gives his life away. Kraghen then, it feels like with it all to do, rotations are coming in. There is that presence towards long. Good timing. No HP though, man. Oh, and Manx. He was so anticipating a long hit, just never came.
You got to feel for Salazar there as well. He's going for a jump peek. Everybody does it.
Yeah,
Zorta was so trained at the angle. And this is the problem. Zorta's quick, man. He's crisp. And he knows exactly how to read his opposite AWP so well. He's played that to perfection. Zorta parked up from the get-go over towards the Divider, waiting for that mistake. Waiting for a little bit of a pixel to work with. Salazar gets so unfortunate because he is actually so crucial to that A-hold. And unfortunately, you know, with Kraghen, it's all well and good him being a very key part of the puzzle piece for ECSTATIC, but with such low HP, you have no expectations of what he can do. So, forZe up to their 5th. Not bad at all. Not bad. And as T-sides go on this map, it's really actually relatively respectable. That was so crucial. We were talking about it. If that round had gone south, all the money's gone for forZe. They wouldn't have the loss bonus built up enough. It's a quick flick as well from Zorta. But yeah, I mean, they would have been in a lot of trouble. And Jerry, lovely double entry. Manx just unfortunately didn't want 80 in time, and Jerry deletes him from behind. 7-5. And slowly now, but surely, forZe are starting to breathe down the necks of ECSTATIC. This is actually getting slightly concerning.
Close competition, like we were talking about, certainly seems to be here. Lurk smoke going down. Shalfie trying to get aggressive, loses his life. I feel like if he came up against an M4 there, he would have won that fight, but it's not the case, is it?
It's proactive. I like that from Salazar. That's exactly what we need from the AWP. This is actually what makes Salazar good. He's very able to kind of adapt on the fly. I like that call from him. He's the A player playing over towards Monster B. That's what we need to be seeing from this guy. Fluid in motion, playing where he's needed. Manx spots one. Jerry in towards short water. Now they can slightly adjust their setup to kind of accommodate that right now. But ECSTATIC with the numbers in their favor can just play the buddy system.
No need to overstep. Don't give them away back into the round. Jerry and the boys trying to work some short control. I think it's where we're going to end up here. Contacted in. 40 seconds on the clock. Safe hold from ECSTATIC. Nobody holding wide. Jerry might look to abuse that. Flash comes round. Nodio's going to find the head, though. Does very, very well to do so. Queenix keeping his cool on the pillar. In for a double. Just Krad remains. Oh, nice find. Should be able to get the bomb back here as well, but there's Kraghen on the rotation. Nice and aggressive, so not happening. ECSTATIC hold on to their lead, and they hold on to it pretty well here. Probably not going to be a buy from forZe. Something down the middle, perhaps. Nope.
You forget who you're dealing with, brother. This is Jerry. This is Jerry through and through.
I don't know, man.
He loves a janky force,
Fan of Jerry in the interview, but, you know, I maybe wouldn't let him control my bank account, that's for sure.
Loves a big force bite. And I mean, they've pulled together something. It's not the worst. We look at this now, a double Galil, not the end of the world. I think the thing that actually worries me most is the lack of Utah on a few of the players. You know, you're looking at Zorta, Krad, and Resto, all on now nothing. Makes post-plants very difficult for this team. And especially when Kraghen's doing that, Manx will come in, and he catches Jerry off guard. Oh, Kraghen, stop it. Sumptuous for the one tap, but he can't make it a third. Shalfie will trade him out and leave Shalfie and Krad in a not impossible, but slightly improbable 2 versus 4 situation. Does it look back over towards A? and want to dip the toes in towards shark-infested waters. It's really difficult, and they've got to commit now as well because the flank's being held. This is a horrible predicament. They know they have to commit towards A. If they wrap through con, they're going to be stopped. If they go all the way back through their spawn, Queenix is there ready and waiting. This round's won off the back of just spacing and positions alone.
Shalfie all by himself, gathering a bit of sound info. But that is it. Bomb going to start to join him here. We are slowly moving forwards. Needed to get that catch onto Salazar. Nodio slightly off on the angle. Just Krad. Can't even find one. So ECSTATIC putting up some good numbers here, man. They're looking down the barrel of 10 quite easily with the money of forZe just not being there.
And this is where we look back to our force buy, right? I mean, it now leaves question marks heading into the 15th and final round.
Especially when you don't even come close.
Yeah, exactly. You know? A big part of it does come down to how well kraghen played that round as well. I mean, single-handedly, that second one-tap, oh, beauty, beauty. But look where we are now. And the big thing, like we said, it all came down to the positions. You know, Queenix is over towards spawn. If they rotate back towards B, they're done for on that kind of position alone. Let's see. Final round of the half, and all forZe can muster up his pistols for them. Not exactly a dream buy. Salazar for one, not spotted. Here, that's kraghen desperately one-tapping, and actually pretty poorly one-tapping. The tech now will come through. Surely not like this, Scriv.
Manx getting aggressive through the Molotov, not being heard. He's got a good opportunity to find a couple here if he plays his cards right. Touchdown nade, doesn't quite make it. A reposition from forZe. Retreat and regroup. He did manage to scoop up an AK there, so they have slightly bettered their position, but I don't know how healthy this 3 versus 3 looks. Again, they are hoping to catch some aggression, but it is easier said than done at this point.
I quite like this from forZe as well, though. They're going to pump the brakes, and actually, now there's a smoke drop over towards long. They're just going to sit behind it. It's the perfect way to play this right now. The only thing that worries me is whether ECSTATIC then over-rotate back over towards B. A triple boost coming through here. Looking for something. Backside, nobody's going to show. Hang on. Actually, hang on. Manx was aware of it. And he stops looking. No, he doesn't. Manx, genius. Holding for it. Finds the head of Zorte, and now they know all 3 are there. That's it. Surely round 1. 20 seconds left to work with. In comes the flank. In comes Nodios, the new boy on the block. At the half, 10-5. Not too bad. Can they continue it after the break?
It doesn't matter. We seem too young to understand. For the better. The weather changes when we dance. Belong together. Catching sunsets, riding waves. We stay forever. Where the rhythm never ends. 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 Where
Yo, welcome back, everybody. We are here for the second half, our third game of the day. ECSTATIC taking a clean one there, I'd say. 10 rounds on that CT side is pretty damn comfortable, and the pressure now on forZe to immediately hit the ground running on their defensive side. They need to find the pistol. They need to probably find the first rifle round, get it evened up as best they possibly can. ECSTATIC, meanwhile, could crush this one.
Yeah, you know, as T-sides go, it's actually not that bad. We've seen way worse T-sides turn around, but it wasn't exactly comfortable or consistent. If a pistol round's found here by ECSTATIC, I get very worried. In comes a bit of util. Jerry, pressure for him. How will he handle?
Julies at the back end of the site always look good to me, and yes, Jerry going to put them to good use. 3 versus 2. ECSTATIC looked very, very good in the post last time out on this B-bomb site. Now they're on the reverse. We'll see what they can do with it. No kit available. Pretty passive kind of hold from forZe, giving them the space that they need. Shalfie, though, will find Salazar at that mid-range. All on Zenodios, can't get it done with the Julies. So forZe first mission complete. They probably have to play against a pretty solid force buy in this next round, though.
Gotta say, it's actually a very nice setup as well in terms of how they played that retake. Calm, cool, collected, but it works really well for them. They kind of just allow ECSTATIC to have this inability to set up a post plant, and if they go and try and reposition, they're going to instantly get plucked. It's such a simple way of playing it. Force the youngsters to make mistakes. It's a level-headed approach towards how to retake the site. Force them, it's going to be their own demise. That's exactly what we saw. So, forZe kickstart their campaign here on the CT side well. Now need to make it a little bit more of a consistent one. Buys out both ways. That bomb plant for ECSTATIC salvages the funds enough to pick up some rifles. It's a quad Galil situation. Manx just a deagle for him. And a good start as well. Kraghen will find the first. Wrestled to fall. And Zorta takes a tap and will fall away. He respects it. He understands that it's a pretty losable affair. And he's just going to fall away. Numbers now don't favor forZe. They could be in trouble. If they lose the force by here, they're in a lot of trouble in the grand scheme that is this game.
Yes. Yeah. We saw it in the earlier game with Ents Bravado. Losing out that force buy is a terrible position to be in, especially when you don't really have the rounds to play with. So, yeah, recovery going to be required here. Nice stuff from Shalfie. Oh, nearly in for 3. He set it up, though. He's definitely set it up there. The M4 around the corner. Securing the round for my money. Just Nodios. Big clutch required. He is unexpected from Monster, but it's being watched. Sorty keeps a keen eye on it, and forZe will indeed pull off that recovery.
There we go. And now at 10-7. Absolutely back on. A little back over towards as well, forZe. And questions being, of course, what can they do going forward? It looked a little bit shaky. It looked like maybe something was going to come to fruition. Thankfully, that short water crunch that came through, perfectly timed. That leaves them in a very strong position. The buy for ECSTATIC is minimal here. Deagles is all they've really got to work with. Even investing in towards the likes of armor is too much of a luxury, one in which they couldn't afford. Jerry, the MP9, is just going to farm a lot of pocket change here. That cash burn is going to come through pretty easily for them. This is a round which isn't going to amount to all too much. So we can look at the bigger scale. For ECSTATIC, it's not the greatest start to the half. You know, there's a few rounds in a row now going the way of forZe. This would be a prime opportunity to kind of call for attack pause and have a little conversation. What have we seen so far from the setups of forZe? What is our understanding about how forZe are playing their CT side thus far? The problem being, though, Scriv, is, well, they don't have a coach anymore. And that, for me, is something that I think when you get these high-pressure situations, when you look towards this roster and how they're going to play it, that's the thing I'm always going to look back at and be a little bit worried about when they start to be under pressure, when their backs are against the wall. That's where you kind of look towards a coach to bail you out. But, of course, as of the 1st of June, so quite literally, you know, just over a week ago, they dropped their coach on the TML, who was actually a pretty prolific part of this ECSTATIC roster. So, yeah, I don't know, for me, I think that can be quite problematic, not having the coach on board.
Yeah, definitely when you're coming into an event as well, right? Like, you want to get your prep going, and the coach carries out an awful lot of that, so...
And so much more onus on Manx, by the way. A guy who, this is his first team he's called in. Previously, it was Barefoot Sky doing the calling on this team. You know, obviously, that was a long time ago now. He's been calling for a while, but even still, he's now got added more pressure on his shoulder and a lot more work to be done as well.
Shelfie waiting to make a play here. He might send Krad round the corner. Not going to be the case. forZe in classic style, playing very, very methodical, very thought out. Not getting too aggressive, not really giving the fights across to that ECSTATIC side, who are pretty stuck for ideas. Bit of spamming, bit of prodding and poking so far. There's the first proper fight, and kraghen going to recorrect his aim to win it. Not looking good for forZe off the initial, but Krad, he's been waiting all round long to make a move. zorti chiming in, resalt as the smoke goes down, catches Salazar distracted. The B defense is brilliant. Not a chance for ECSTATIC. Yeah, this campaign on the T side continues to go south.
Queenix needing a nigh on impossible 1 versus 4. I mean, not completely impossible, but highly improbable. He's being flanked as well. He'll scoop up the bomb. That noise will be made as well. Setting up. Oh, zorti, missed opportunity. Giving Queenix an opportunity to pull off something here. Tap on towards the plant. This time sticks it. One player towards Graffiti, and he's somewhat aware of it. Will he be expecting the flank through that a monster? All comes down to timing. All comes down to the peaks. He sneaks in towards water. And now Queenix has made this a doable affair from a 1 versus 4 into a 1 versus 2 with Jerry on 13 points of HP. Surely not. This would be the best round of Counter-Strike we've seen so far this tournament. I better be saying something, but Krad, thankfully, the flanking man will see it off. And forZe will find their 9th and continue a flawless start towards the half. That's our 4 in a row, Script.
Yeah, bro, they've got to be one of the best CT sides in Tier 2 for sure.
The noise as well, we love to see it. Gotta say, just a completely off-topic point here.
Yeah.
A couple of new trims on the side there. Resolt's got rid of the blonde hair. He had the bleach blonde coming through. He's got rid of that. We've seen not too bad at all from Shelfie with the kind of the shaved as well. Couple of new trims coming.
Yeah, man.
Confidence for the LAN.
Some of those, CIS region players really do have some interesting hairstyles.
That's the word I'd use. That's the
Yeah.
word I'd use, absolutely.
But some of them have some pretty good ones as well.
They love the dyed hair. They really do.
They do. I swear Jerry's had the same haircut for like 5
Yeah.
years.
All he cares about is the Counter-Strike, bless him.
That's
It's working right now, 4 in a row. Looking to make it 5 on the trot. Shelfie spotting 1 as he falls off that boosted position. And another must-win round for ECSTATIC. If they don't, forZe out the game and shuts the economy again.
Slow util out towards that A end. ECSTATIC looking to work their way in. Again, it's very, very slow. We don't see a lot of action in the early stage of the rounds at all. ECSTATIC just like to wind that clock down. But man, they've put so much utility in. They've just not found any damage. Not even frags. You know, it's just damage. They've got 4 flashes left, and that is it. Nice little boost-up move for Shelfie to take out Queenix. So there's our first bit of action. Manx and Salazar trying to 2-man towards the B-bomb site itself, but the defense is so solid. Great spray down from Nodios. He can't stay alive, though. Just working on that initial man advantage for forZe. Bomb gets picked up, bomb gets bailed out. kraghen has a lot of space on A, to be fair to him, and there is nobody there right now. Rotational comeback round, but kraghen's going to be in deep.
This is tough, man. kraghen has to go for 2 here at the very least. Oh, that's brutal. It could not have got worse timing, quite literally.
That's painful. That is painful. Salazar fakes out, finds 1, no time to get the bomb planted, though. Try and take him down after time here, and they will do so indeed. Worst case scenario for ECSTATIC. This is very quickly evened up, very dominantly evened up from forZe as well. As I was kind of saying a few rounds ago, their CT side is so damn strong. They just have so many players unafraid to take fights, unafraid to go for aggressive moves like this. And when they start finding success with that, they can be pretty unstoppable, to be honest.
I love watching Shelfie play Counter-Strike, man. He's just such a confident player. As riflers go, right, it's exactly what you're looking towards in terms of a player, just to make a difference. And the big thing is, we've already seen from some of these player cams, he's getting loud. He's really starting to, as much as he can, get in the heads of the ECSTATIC guys. And he's doing well. Only a young guy himself, but he's been part of this roster for a while now, and they've been playing some great Counter-Strike. Over the last few months especially, you've seen really this forZe roster coming towards their own. While the major run wasn't really anything to kind of remember all too well. Even making it there themselves was pretty good. Pro League, I think they've really shocked a lot of people at Pro League about how well they played. And in online Counter-Strike as well, they're a very decent team. Always getting to the deep stages of pretty much every tournament they play in.
Yeah.
This is what makes forZe so scary. Is they're a known quantity. We know exactly what forZe are. But still, time and time again, you succumb to the pitfalls of the man that is Jerry. A legend of the scene now. And it has to be said, probably some of, if not the best interviews that you can get in the scene as well. The guy
that is true.
A gem to talk to. He's a fountain of knowledge.
He is a chatter.
And it shows. Oh, Krad through the top of the smoke. Little two-tap. Two-tap Tony on towards Salazar. We'll drop him. That's an easy one. Just pistols for ECSTATIC here, so it's not going to amount to too much. Make it expensive would be nice. forZe have got a prime opportunity here to take 6 consecutive rounds and claw the lead back in their favor.
Krad at range on the A4. Spots another. Ooh. Sticks around a bit too long, though. That's going to be a recovered weapon. We've got some armor here for the ECSTATIC boys. They'll be pretty happy with that. forZe trying to pick up the pieces. Advanced position to come through from Shalfie as well. forZe got to watch himself. Gap closing here. The M4 is very close. He misses the shot. Shalfie, however, has made a bit of a mess. Only 2, though. Jerry has a gap on the smoke, can't find a head. Can they pull off this retake? Really, really important that they do. It was meant to be that low buy round, that easy round, but forZe have made a absolute mare of this one. Slow but sure, they will start to move in. A lot of space from the ECSTATIC boys being given across, allowing forZe to get closer to the bomb. There's not a lot of time. They do have a smoke. Molotov goes down onto the bomb to buy some more time. Ah,
oh, no.
Smoke's a bit dodgy. That's unlucky. Tap comes in. Jerry good for 1. Probably just going to have to look for the hold here. Manx can't find him. Jerry's going to get it. Yes, he is. 11 rounds, 6 in a row. And of course, none other than the in-game leader to bail them out.
Jerry is cerebral as ever. That's brilliant, especially off the back of the initial fluff smoke, because it lands in the molly. It extinguishes the molly, but it doesn't actually cover the bomb. I think he scoops up another off the corpse of someone over towards Transformer. And in doing so, forZe will get yet another round. ECSTATIC will be kicking themselves that they couldn't close it out. Jerry, man, just doing Jerry things. Some individuals really been stepping up over towards that forZe roster. Shalfie, being prolific as ever, and will continue to do so. Nodios, who is such an important puzzle piece towards ECSTATIC, dropped immediately, and the toes spotted by Jerry. Get a double entry for forZe in towards this round. It could not have started any better.
God damn. Yeah, this is somewhat tough to watch in places. Shalfie, though, man. We got to speak to him. He must be so incredibly vocal, just calling for what he wants.
I respect, at such a young age as well, to be kind of so commanding the way he is. Not only in terms of the way he plays, but how he likes to style himself as a rifler. Awesome to see. They've snuck out here towards Monster. Krad is posted. Means a 4. Salazar gets himself 1. It's a consolation kill. He's instantly dropped by the man we continue to highlight, Shalfie. Smiles all around. They're getting confident, you know, as well. And the way they're playing and how they've set themselves up, they can feel it on the home stretch here. And we spoke about this, actually. We had a little bit of a conversation just after finishing the second best of 1. A problem that has been somewhat common within the Tier 2 space is teams having this inability to close out games.
Yeah.
PA should have closed out that game. They actually were really on track to winning it. And even Bravado at times, if they hadn't lost that 5 versus 3, we could have seen a different scenario. We could have seen Bravado maybe pushing further into that game, getting towards kind of 12, 13 rounds, and then who knows what could have happened, right? They're all if buts and maybes, but it's been an issue within Tier 2 about this inability to close games. This is something, and I don't want to curse them, of course, now, but that forZe really haven't kind of succumbed to all too much. They've been a very good side. I kind of see enough games where they have been. The only problem for forZe really is that they get deep in towards tournaments and they just don't perform the way we know they can.
Yeah, it seems to be when there's more pressure on them. I think when things are a bit more comfortable, you know, it's a team that you've played a lot.
Yeah.
It's a map that you're happy with. They do perform a lot better. So far, though, I mean, yeah, just going through the motions, bro. Like, boost up after boost up. Shalfie with a numerous amount of opening kills on this CT side. And they just look unstoppable. Great flash round there, but the peak is not committed to by Nodios. Looking back towards A, there is yet another boost, this time for Jerry.
I like this. It's a little bit of a one-way as well. It's actually very difficult to clear. He has a lot of information, which he'll use. I love that. Queenix will fall. And Jerry can actually reposition.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Krad on top of the smoke. Nearly finds the frag, not quite. Kraghen from long. Good for one. Trying to get giddy here, but Jerry will hear him and finish him off through the smoke. Really well read and really well played to get those sound cues coming in. Manx leading the charge. Nice shot. Any more for any more? Yes, sir. Down goes Jerry. Shalfie at the back end of the side, but he's only on 21 HP. You don't really expect too much from him. Result. Quick flank. Not dealt with. As he taps down for a double, he gets tagged by the orb. Salazar has it all to do and not ready for Shalfie. Just out in the open, because why would you be? Oh my goodness, forZe holding things together so very cleanly.
Shalfie right now, 5-2 in opening duels, man. This guy has really been so confident. We spoke about the boosts, and in some fashion, ever so slightly gimmicky, but if they're working, not so much. And speaking of a boost that is ever so slightly gimmicky, that one from Jerry. Bit of a one-way, very difficult to spot if you're that T-side player. You're more focusing over towards dice or looking in and around, kind of whether there's someone over towards longer to swing you. Yeah, it's had to be kraghen. Nice and quick here. I love the aggression, actually forcing Krad away. See him get a little bit nervous, drops a nade. He's going to double back and respect this. It's a hero AK for ECSTATIC in round number 24. Question being for them, what can kraghen do, man? He's so important to the success here. Ever so quiet. Just pistols around ECSTATIC and that one AK. This one goes south. We could be in for a lot of trouble going late in towards this game.
Very, very slow on the upswing here from ECSTATIC. Utility comes down. Krad wants to push through. It's a nice move. It's going to get him a lot of information there. Shalfie on another boost. Overpass is all about the boost, we know that, but this guy has been really taking that one to town. Krad out in the open. Cleanest 3K of your life. Just Mr. Kraghen. He's been playing very well indeed, but this is way out of question. A flawless round, not a single point of damage taken by forZe. This one's looking like it is going to be over, and the question is now, can they do it with a flawless CT side?
Just seriously quick flick there from Zorte as well. But like you mentioned, this is consistency of a new age right now. 9 rounds in a row by forZe. They've got ECSTATIC. You hate to say it, but this has been a disastrous T side.
Yeah.
While forZe are putting up a masterclass on the CT, ECSTATIC a disaster class on that T. They cannot buy a round right now. All the lost bonus in the world. Nothing coming of it, but that's a good start. Finally, an opening kill going the way of ECSTATIC in the hands of Salazar as he catches Zorte overextending.
Something to work with, thank the Lord. What can they do with it now, right? They have to turn that into a round. They absolutely have to convert. It's a true test for forZe, probably the first challenge that they've had in quite some time. Ever since that half by a few rounds ago. So we'll see.
I like this call here as well. You look towards forZe, they've not got the numbers in their favor, so they're actually looking for information. They're looking to see if they can activate someone to bring the numbers at least back level and fall away untraded. I like that sort of kind of proactivity coming through. It's a very Jerry-esque call in a way, but its resource going to be under pressure. And there he goes, he finds one. Dropping Manx, such an important kill, and he's now beckoning over support, but it might come a little bit too late. In comes Jerry, tapping at range, and unsuccessfully until Nodios' head gets scalped as Jerry makes the double. How have they clawed this back in their favor? Queenix into a 1 versus 3, and surely unwinnable from the dregs of that round. Somehow forZe have made it work. 15-10, as forZe make it 10 rounds in a row. Skriv. What a capitulation by ECSTATIC. That had to go their way.
Yeah, crazy. And as said, that was the kind of closest chance in a long, long time for the side of ECSTATIC. Couldn't get it over the line. Not even anywhere near close, bro. I thought they were going to get that one. Result is on B by himself. They'd made the miscall. They'd made the miscall on the forZe side of things. They'd left him alone. He finds one kill, he drops back, like you say, plays it very, very well. He understands that living is the most important thing there.
Yeah. His presence alone actually forced ECSTATIC to pump the brakes, and they burnt the Utah in the wrong position. I think, you know, for a guy who's very inexperienced, before this team, he hadn't played an international LAN of any sort result, and he's actually played that to perfection. It's really good.
Krad up close, could have spotted the shadow, but didn't quite read it. Leaving the AWP with it all to do here, out towards short. This is dangerous, only able to pick off one. Quick flank from Jerry. Perhaps going to be known now. Shalfie still in towards the site itself. 20 frags so far, looking for a bit more, but he's denied. ECSTATIC are angry. They are looking to keep this game alive, and they might just be able to do it. Result, backside, nade comes in, finds his frag. Honestly, this can't keep happening. No Dios. It's the only player who's going to be able to give them a chance to stay in this game. Finds one.
No.
Jerry on the bomb, he gets off it, can't find the kill, and No Dios will get it done.
Oh, No Dios we trust, man. I love this guy. I think he's such a good player for ECSTATIC. And he's bailed them out of what was going to be a flawless CT performance from forZe. They find their first round in 11 played. That alone is a statement we didn't expect at all. ECSTATIC, it has been brutal to say the least. But now looking forward, there's actually a pause called by forZe.
Yeah, full respect here. I think it's a really solid shout. Go for the pause. Don't allow them any room to get back in. You can have plenty of cash. You can have plenty of confidence here, but they're still hungry. And that previous round speaks to it. ECSTATIC played so fast, so aggressive, despite the fact, you know, that you've got the klaxon, that you are indeed fighting for survival on Overpass.
You could see as well in that pause, it was gonna, even Jerry had no kind of input there. It was all down to forZe. We know what this guy's about. I mean, he's been a very staple part of the success for forZe as the coach. Now, question being, of course, can they bounce back? I'm sure they will. They've been in absolute control of this game from the turn of the half onwards. It's the first round ECSTATIC have picked up on their T side. That alone is a statement we didn't expect. And even though they found it, the buy is still a little bit haphazard. Double Galil coming through. Triple Galil, in fact, may I say, coming through to support the AWP. Oh, Salazar on the AK-47 in the hands of No Dios. It's not exactly a comfortable buy by any means off the back of their first round one. And a contact play here, which Result falls away on Scave Sorte in the AWP. For the first, it's a quick flick as he finds Manx. And now the numbers in favor of forZe, and this is the position they love.
Yeah, ECSTATIC can't really commit either. No chance of the trades. Kraghen leading the charge of this little two-piece towards A. Okie dokie. 2 kills coming in. Queenix and Kraghen again trying to put the team on their back. Jerry can't help. Bomb on the way. Bomb on the way. That is the one thing that maybe forZe have slightly in their favor, is the fact that the bomb was so far away, but they actually don't fancy going for this one. We'll look to save it and give the round across to ECSTATIC. So all to play for, money drying up. This is panic stations at the moment for that CT end.
Yeah, it's an interesting call, but it's actually understandable. You can look towards kind of the economy of Krad, $50 in the back pocket. His wallet is mighty light right about now. And Shelby's not exactly doing pretty. Oh, no. They go for a big wrap coming through. And actually cost Result his life. It will make the buy rough. You know, you have 3 people saved, it's fine, you can drop. Only 2 save, it's not actually comfortable. Their loss burn is only sitting about 1.9k as well, so you're looking at this and thinking, actually, it's going to be uncomfortable. Classic Jerry-esque buy would be a force coming through in towards the next round. But even then, it's going to be a little bit of an uncomfortable one. Got an M4 to work with, and open the hands of Zorta. And then what do you pick up? Krad's really not got the funds to work with, and the best they've got is Result on 3.5. I'm expecting a force here. A couple of drops to come through, maybe in towards the likes of the Famases and the MP9s to try and make this it's some way adequate, but it's not exactly going to be comfortable. But then again, that's exactly the sort of buy that we've just seen ECSTATIC win on. They had a triple Galil coming in towards that one. So they come through, and it's actually fine. They're limited in a little bit of Utah in the hands of Result and Krad, but all things is not too problematic.
It feels like now or never for forZe. They have very little cash left. ECSTATIC could squeeze an overtime here.
They can't let it go there, right? I feel like that's really where the klaxons start to ring off for forZe. They let it slip towards OT.
Yeah, you're in that mindset where you're definitely in a position of should be winning this game. So the overtime gets very, very difficult to play with, I think. ECSTATIC super far back. Nearly a minute gone in the round, and they are again slowly encroaching, slowly taking control. Nothing too fast. Sorte. Contact angle. Or looking to go for it. There's a chance here. He doesn't want to commit though. So he can't stop them from crossing in connector. Big fight. Result goes down low. There is an advanced position for Jerry though. Might be able to find the frag over there. Meanwhile, the attack is actually coming through on the A bomb site. With Jerry so deep, they can play 4 on A. And they can put up a good defense over there in terms of the numbers, but whether they find the shots or not is another question. Krad heard the scope, creeps around, gets the timing. Drop down connector coming in. It's all on Jerry. Can he stop them? Yes, he can. Oh, he will eventually get bested. I was ready for all 3, but he's surely done enough. 4 versus 2. Looks to be a retake, but should be solid here. Perfect flash onto Result. Couple more like that maybe, but they ain't got no flashes left. Sorte finds one through the smoke, surely sealing the deal. All down to Manx, the in-game leader. Would be a hell of a thing. Shalfie follows his traces, takes him down. 16-12 on the finish.
Not a bad performance. And a near flawless half a Counter-Strike from forZe there. That's how you play CT side Overpass, ladies and gents. And my oh my, the rematch of a game that has been played so many times over the last few months, going the way of forZe once again. They just seem to, right now, have ECSTATIC's number. Question being, of course, how do ECSTATIC then bounce back in that lower bracket? But Jerry's call.